Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Plugs, the Community Connection. I am the co-host typically, but I'm hosting today, and I have my beautiful co-host sister with me, Mrs. Jack. We are holding it down for DJ Kitty this morning. She had some prior obligations, but hey, you guys already know we keep the show going. So good morning. How you doing, Miss Jack?
I am wonderful. Good morning, WKRA. How are you guys doing?
Everybody, I hope, has got their coffee, and Miss DJ Kitty like to say, make sure you get your water. And get you some sunlight, and let's get this day started. It is Wednesday, hump day. I love hump day. It's one of my favorite days of the week.
The middle of the week, look, you made it this far, you can take the rest of the way. You're halfway there. It's the halfway point.
Absolutely. We are halfway there. So as every morning, we always start with the morning affirmations. And I have some affirmation quotes for women and for men. Since today, we are checking on our mental health. It's a little mental health check-in. Mrs. Jack is going to help us get through some things. So let's go ahead and do an affirmation for men and women.
Okay.
So this one is an affirmation for women, something you can embrace and tell yourself in the morning when you wake up. I will be present. I will be positive. I will be courageous, and I will stand up for myself. I will honor my needs to reset and recharge. I will embrace my best self today. I will radiate positive energy and validity. That's for the women. Okay. And I got to do it for my men too, because y'all need affirmations just as much as we do. So for my gentlemen, it is okay to show emotion. I trust myself. I am deserving of success and prosperity. I am strong both physically and mentally, and I can overcome any obstacles. I am open to new experiences and challenges which help me grow and learn.
I love that for the men. I like the one for the women. Don't get me wrong, but I think we're looked at as the more positive, happy, peppy sex anyway. And I don't think most men hear that on a daily basis. We got to boost men up and give them a good start to the day and tell them. And it's something you also can teach your young sons. That it's okay to show emotions. The way you said that at the beginning was perfect. It's okay to show emotions so that they don't feel like they have to, hide them from everybody.
Right.
Especially like if you get into a relationship with a woman, you won't feel like you've never done it before.
Exactly. Because men sometimes are hard. They struggle in that department when it comes to showing their emotions and, just kind of opening themselves up and being vulnerable when it's okay. It is really okay. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you, less of anything. It's just you being a human, actually.
Right. They're always taught, be a man, suck it up.
Yes. Be a man.
They also should throw in, let your guard down sometimes should be the third one. So they'll know.
I like that one. It was some more on there, but I did 5. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
That is important.
we're gonna get right into this weather.
Okay.
The weather for today, Wednesday in Holly Springs, Mississippi. So y'all gonna need y'all raincoats, your boots and everything, because it's gonna throw down. We're getting a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms after
Ooh.
1 o'clock. Some of the storms could be severe, so be careful where you guys are driving. Make sure if it looks flooded, do
Mm.
not go through a pool of water. You don't know how deep it is. So just they back up. Don't drown. Drive away. It's going to be cloudy and gradually becoming mostly sunny with highs near 85, breezy. So that's pretty hot. It's going to get hot, but you're going to deal with that rain amount, and wind is going to be about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And it looks like it's going to be the same sort of kind of temperature in Memphis as well. Memphis, which we broadcast to as well, you guys are going to have thunder showers and thunderstorm. You're going to have showers and thunderstorms. I said thunder showers and storms.
You know what you meant.
Y'all know what I meant, but y'all gonna have some rain too. So make sure you got your rain boots, your rain gear, your umbrellas. Keep them in the car, because you never know when you're gonna need it. And it says it's possibly gonna last. It's gonna come after 5 p.m. and they could be severe as well. And you're gonna have a high of 85 also. And for us here in Houston, I know Miss Jack, you're not in Houston, but
But we had it Monday.
you in the South.
We had it Monday, and it was
Okay.
pouring down. You can hear the loud raindrops
In
against the
Georgia.
window. Yes, in
Okay.
Georgia. So it's moving
Going,
down
it's moving. Okay,
and
I
west.
got you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we not getting no rain tomorrow. We are gonna be near 85 hot, with a little breeze and a little gust of wind. That's about it for us. So we're gonna be we moving into the hot realms. It's a little early, but it's gonna get hot in Houston real soon.
And
So that
one
is the
tip that
weather.
I just learned, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't have allergies, but remember, if you have
Yeah.
allergies, people, this weather is changing. That pollen is coming in full force. And I know y'all cars looking like mine, but to me, all it did was make my car yellow. To some of y'all, you got to remind yourselves to take, what is it, Claritin or Benadryl or whatever you need to get
Yes.
today. Make sure you check before
Vertex, all of
you
that.
have that this morning before you go out.
Please do, because the allergy season is kicking strong. It's a lot of people suffering right now. I hear my daughter
Mm-hmm.
in there suffering right now. So,
Oh,
yes, she got allergies. So,
poor lady.
everybody follow those instructions, and y'all should be safeguarding yourself. But let's get into these current events, Miss Jack.
Whew. Did you
I'm
hear
a
about yesterday?
I'm gonna let you go ahead and give me some things you came across, because woo, yesterday was something else.
It really was. The biggest news from yesterday was, I'm so proud of the Democrats, because sometimes, we're not as loud as the other side, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to now show in force. But Senator Cory Booker, he broke the Senate record for the longest floor speech, and it was set by Strom Thurmond in 1957. So
Wow.
the notification that I got, it reads, he broke the record for the longest floor speech in modern Senate history. It was 24 hours and 18 minutes. His speech began yesterday at 7 p.m. Well, the day before at
The day
7 p.m.
before, 7 p.m.
Yes. And
Wow.
then it was still ongoing after 7 p.m.
And
yesterday.
I woke up yesterday morning. I said, wait a minute, he's still going, because I was watching it, and I kind of dozed off because it's late. I go to sleep,
Right.
and he was still at
It
it. I
started
was
Monday.
surprised. Yeah, I was surprised.
Um,
That's amazing. Kudos to Cory Booker.
in awe, and some of the other Democrats were, giving him a hand, going up, asking questions. But I was surprised to find out that, he had to stand up the whole time and talk. And the good part was, he said that he vowed Monday evening that he would keep going as long as he was physically able to, because this was in protest of actions taken by the president and his administration.
Wow. Kudos to Cory Booker. I hope his team is holding him up and lifting him up during this because it's serious out here what we going through. I mean, honestly, what the world is going through is something very serious. And I'm gonna lead into that after you finish up some of your current events as to why he's going so hard with this filibuster.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Another one that was key to me was there was, Karen Levitt. She's the White House press secretary. So every time she goes out, the reporters ask her questions. And this one was about the farms. And a reporter asked, are there going to be any exemptions for the farmers having some type of consideration for the tariffs? And she said,
Hmm.
no, there will be no exemptions for the farmers. And that hit home because, I'm from North Carolina. We have a whole lot of farms out there. But the wildest part about it was when he was president the first time, he had to bail all the farmers out because of the tariffs and tax exemptions he gave the rich the first time he was president. So
Right.
now they're not going to get any exemptions. He's freezing some of the federal grants for the farms, and now a lot of farmers are upset. Some of them voted for him, and they're upset because they're realizing the tariffs are going to hurt them again. And she said, no, there will be no exemptions.
When will we learn? When will they learn? When will y'all learn that this whole movement with what Trump and the Trump administration is doing is about classism. It's about being in a certain class, a group of people. If you don't fit that class, you don't fit their agenda. You don't fit their agenda. And this is
Right.
what's happening. And like you said, it happened in his last administration. Wouldn't you have learned from there? Or you too busy, you forgot because you got that check. You're not getting one this time.
The check didn't even help everybody the last time because some farmers didn't get as much as other farmers. And just
Right.
my thing is, you saw what happened last time, and you still voted for the same person, and now he's just doing it on repeat. So I'm just wondering when people are going to learn.
I don't know. This may be detrimental. This one here is gonna hit hard for them,
Yeah.
and they're gonna lose it all. And that might be where they drop to their knees and be like, "Oh Lord, what did I do?" And now it's too late because what's done is done, and now you have to find a way to rebuild your family and keep your family, going. And it's pretty pathetic to me.
Not
I don't
to,
feel bad for them though. I don't feel bad, Miss
it's
J.
very hard now to have sympathy for people that,
Mm-mm.
put themselves in a situation that you could foresee coming. So now
Yep.
we're going to see higher prices for, agriculture, fruits, vegetables, anything that farmers are out doing. We're just going to see higher prices instead of people voting for lower prices. They're getting the exact opposite. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. What you got next, Miss J?
I have one more.
Okay.
So the president was asked by another reporter. He was talking about emissions, right? We're here in Georgia, certain parts of Georgia have emissions, and different states have emissions testing to keep the air clean.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him about it, and he said, and he was quoted as saying, "It doesn't mean a damn bit of difference to the environment. It doesn't matter." This is the president saying emissions doesn't matter. So why do we have emissions then if it doesn't
Why do we
matter?
do emissions tests?
What message are you putting out to say something like that? We have all these environmental protection agencies. We have to
Mm-hmm.
look at our cars and vehicles checked to make sure they aren't polluting, adding unnecessary toxins to the air and inside the communities. And he says that it doesn't even matter to the environment. It doesn't make a difference to the environment.
It's just asinine, the things that are being said and done. It's ridiculous. And we know this. I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure our listeners that are paying attention to what's going on, I'm sure they have seen this and they have been questioning and talking amongst each other like,
Of
What
course.
in the world are we doing here in our country? What is becoming of our country? You know, it's sad. Nothing is if he doesn't say it's solid gold, then it's not. If it
It's
ain't
not
come from
something.
him, then it's wrong. You know, if even if it's right, it's wrong. And unfortunately, you got people out here following that.
The hardest part is what you said. Whatever he says, they believe. And
Whatever
it's
he
kind of
said.
hard to get that many people to believe the right thing, even though you have a lot of people, jumping up and down saying, hey, 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 this doesn't even sound right. It doesn't make sense. And you still believe it.
Hmm.
It's like some people have to learn for themselves. They have to
Yeah,
touch fire to see that fire is hot instead
if
of
it's
being
gonna
told it's hot.
burn. I agree. I agree. So, and some of the things that I got, let's see, Trump begins mass layoffs for FDA, CDC, and other U.S. health agencies. So, those layoffs began. About 10,000 staffers were received letters, and that they were going to be terminated on Tuesday, according to multiple sources familiar with the situation. Whew. The cuts will affect high profile agencies in the Department of Health and Human Services, including the FDA and CDC. Um,
I'm
him and
sending
Elon
these
Musk feel like
people.
this is Doge at work, slashing the government, putting people's health at risk.
I want you to match that with making the America great.
Yeah,
Match.
put that
Just
puzzle
get rid of the
together.
people that study diseases and
Right.
continue. Because okay,
Yeah. Put those pieces together. That's something else that he in the
what was the
tie
first one?
into. Hmm.
You said FCC or
FDA
FDA,
was the FDA.
the Food
Hmm.
and Drug Administration. Okay, so
Food
now
and
we
drug,
have
yeah, the Food and Drug Administration. So now our food
to
that
think
we
about
is
that.
less safe that we're purchasing in the store. Our food that we don't grow ourselves is less safe, and
And
we don't
medicine
know. Yes,
and medications
and
have to pass
medicine.
FDA.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Correct.
So
Everything is
no,
being less safe, and like you said, put the puzzle together. Where are we making America great? You
we are
know,
not.
the reason why Cory Booker was doing the filibuster was because today, Wednesday, is known as the Day of Liberation. That's what he
I
calls it.
remember. I heard that.
Trump calls it the Day of Liberation today because his tariffs are supposed to kick in. His tariffs that he has placed on Canada,
Mexico.
China. Trump
Yeah.
has a 10% across the board on tariffs imports coming in from the into the United States. Um, he could go as high as 20 or even 60%. Who knows? Everybody knows that. Excuse me, tariffs affect the consumers.
Their taxes. Out there, if you're listening on the radio, tariffs are taxes. They go both
Yes.
ways. There is no way to tax one country without taxing the other country. No
Right.
person is going to just eat a tax and add it to the price they have to pay without being recompensed. You got to get your money back. So you
Hmm.
have to add higher prices to cover the price you pay for the tax, the tariff. I'm
Exactly.
floored.
And tariffs are used. Don't get us wrong. Tariffs are used within government, but they're responsible. They're used them responsibly. Like this,
Mhm.
what he did is he put blanket tariffs out there. So
Revenge.
it's just nothing. It was no reason
Right.
for it besides people maybe a revenge thing, like you said. He
Mhm.
didn't People didn't comply to his agenda. This is what a lot of this has been about, everyone, and it's crazy. It's insane. We are about to go ahead and take our first break. Thank you all for coming into the Our Plugs Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 Change. We are going to take a break, Miss Jack, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Opalme Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skin care in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opalme Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Timeless elegance. Redefine class. Welcome to Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion at its finest, fashion that brings out your inner cuteness, and styles that make you go, oh girl, where you get that from? Check me out at www.morningstarboutique.com or at ourplugs.com. Can't wait to see you.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for that commercial break. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection, brought to you by WKRA 92.7 The Change this morning. I have my co-host with me, my sister, Mrs. Jack. We are filling in today for DJ Kitty Cat. She is probably watching us lurking in the back. Hey, Kitty, if you're there. But she had a prior engagement, so we are definitely going to keep holding her down. And today, what we left off at, guys, was we were just kind of going through some current events and things like that. So I think I have one more good event to talk about. Now, this was uplifting.
Okay.
What I wanted to talk about. We got to have some positivity thrown in this mess of news that we have. So an entrepreneur launches the first Black-owned housing manufacturer that can produce up to 100 homes per day.
What?
Yes. A young lady, I think they're tiny homes. I'm not sure exactly. But a young lady, Dr. Velma Traham, has officially launched Home Access America. So y'all make sure y'all look that up. Google that. Home Access America. It's a new modular housing manufacturer that is the first Black-owned company in the United States capable of producing up to 100 homes per day. So I believe they are like little tiny homes. But I mean, that's amazing.
It is.
I mean, it's affordable, starting at $45,000 for a 3-bedroom unit. She's using it to build up the community and make sure people have people have homes to live in.
Like mobile
it's
homes.
About 1,500 square feet, not real big, but hey, good enough for a family who, if you don't want to live outside, I mean, it's amazing. That she's doing this. The homes are built in days, not months, and the engineers are engineered to be fireproof, hurricane resistance, waterproof, and resistance to rot and mold. Wow. Delivering both speed, long time durability without sacrificing quantity. So they're pretty modern. I saw a picture.
You
Yes,
did?
yes.
Does it look like a
So
long trailer or just one of the
it's
tiny
not
homes?
it's not long. It's not a long width. It's more like a up and down. It's thin. It's narrow, but go check them out, y'all. Go to Home Access America.
I'm gonna
Google
write that
that
down.
and look that up and get some more information on it. If someone is looking for a home, not sure what area she's actually going to be building in. Uh, I think I had to get more in depth into the article. HomeAccessAmerica.com, and they help you start if you're looking for a home to purchase. They'll have all the information there. So if anybody is interested, go ahead, take a
That's
look. I'm
amazing.
gonna reach out to her. I'd love to get her on the show so we can
Really?
talk to her. Yeah, so she can
Amazing.
tell the audience and let everybody know the amazing work she's doing within the community. This is the kind of stuff we need to hear more of. You know.
This is how you would make America great.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to say again. I refuse to say again. I'm just gonna say make America great. If you're trying to
Yeah.
make America better, you start by trying to do things that, sometimes the homeless community, the unhoused community, the one thing they need is an address to be able to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine giving
Mm-hmm.
them one of these modular homes and giving them back their, dignity.
Yeah. That's
So,
right. That's right.
but
Giving back their dignity.
the billionaires, the people with the money don't have the same mindset to help people. And that's one of the issues we have. That's how we wound up with Elon Musk.
Exactly. So, Miss Jack, you are here today, and this is your day.
Yay.
We do our mental health check-ins every Wednesday for those who are new listening. So, this is our lineup for tonight. Miss Jack is just blessed to be able to co-host with me and do a segment on the show. And we're doing a check-in with our parents. You know, the effectiveness of co-parenting and communication. And we're gonna definitely bring up our brother Reggie shortly because he's gonna add a twist to that juice.
Okay.
You know, gonna squeeze some of that juice out about value and identity, and how parents can how we can help each other. You know, when it comes to our kids, it's not easy being a parent.
It cannot. And my tips are for when you tried to do the parenting thing together, but it didn't work out. So now you are co-parents. So what I'm going to be giving today, I always come with 4 tips. These are going to be 4 tips on effective co-parenting communication. Dealing with kids' moms and kids' fathers, because I hate hearing the word baby daddy and baby mama. I don't like it at all. But these are the tips for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one, you have to prioritize the child's needs. Avoid using the kids to relay messages and make decisions together. First and foremost is the children. The kids have to come first. You've decided you cannot be together, which is okay. Things don't necessarily always work out, but if you're going to do effective co-parenting, the kid has to be paramount in what you guys are going to be discussing, your issues. That's going to be your only communication now because you're not together anymore. So your focus should be on the kids. Do not use the kids to relay messages. You are grown-ups. Don't say, tell your daddy this. Tell your mama I said this. Prioritize the kids. When you go to the mother's house or the father's house, they should have a room for the kids at both residences. I saw a story where the lady would pack the bag and take everything and put everything in the bag to give to the dad when she dropped the kid off to the dad, because the dad didn't have the clothes and all the stuff that they needed for the baby at their house. And I just shook my head because I said it's not supposed to be that way. Everything that the mom had, the dad should have as well, especially if you're living in 2 different places. That way you don't have to travel back and forth and bring stuff. And why did you leave the clothes? And why did you not? That's not how effective co-parenting is. That kid should be comfortable with their own space in the mother and the father's home.
I agree because you want to make if you are and I thank goodness I've been able to raise my daughter with my husband in the home together. We still have to co-parent even though we are in the same home. But when you're in a two different families, I agree, Miss Jack. I mean,
Yeah,
you should have make the child comfortable,
exactly.
make them as comfortable as possible in the transition of going between home to home.
Right, because it's going to be difficult on the child. If say you're married, you get divorced, right? You have to sit down and talk with the child about, okay, this is going to
Right.
be a new normal. You're going to be here because it's to make, like you said, to make the child comfortable with their new normal of being here and then being here. So when they feel comfortable that they have a room here and they have a room here, it's kind of easier.
Yeah,
Not
I
as
agree.
easy, but it's a little easier for them.
It makes it better. It makes it better. And I see powerful black woman also said for grandmothers too. We living in a modern day now where you have
Mhm.
it's a new day, new age, new day. We have grandmothers that are raising their grandchildren. So and if they're co-parenting with the parent, it's the
Mhm.
same deal. They have to communicate with each other and they have to be on one accord when it comes to raising the child, especially if a grandparent is custodial, has the custody of the child at the time. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely you right, powerful black woman. You are
That is
definitely
true.
right.
I know people in both situations.
Aunties, as well, uncles, whatever, whomever is taking charge.
I was the auntie. I had like 16, 17 nieces and nephews. So definitely we had stuff. Yeah. Okay. So number two,
Okay.
this one is really important. Um, Communicate respectfully with kind words and be concise and to the point. Avoid sarcasm. A lot of things are already going to be hectic, difficult. We don't know why you broke up, why you're not together anymore, but sometimes you have hard feelings. Those things cannot keep you from co-parenting. You know, I've heard too many people say, "Oh, he or she made me mad. I'm not bringing the baby anything. If I can't be with you anymore, then I'm not going to have anything to do with the baby." You putting restrictions on your parenting. You cannot do that. You have to, learn to get along without being together, without getting what you want. And again, keeping the child as paramount in your head. So use kind words and be concise to the point, cut it short. If you have to do drop off, you come, you meet, you drop them off, and you go. Because sometimes the words get in the way and start arguments and start friction. And you don't
Yeah.
want that. We're already not together anymore. Why are you making this more drawn out and dramatic than it has to be? And those are adult problems. Those are not
Hmm.
kids' problems. So they should not be, involved in those type of things.
It makes the situation even more uncomfortable for the child
Very.
because no child wants to hear you say something or a parent say something negative about the other parent because at the end of the day they love both parents in most cases
Exactly.
equally, and they are it's hurtful to them to hear the one parent say something negative or nasty about the other parent. So we
That
do.
that
And I know, like you said, emotions get caught up. Sometimes you can't stand that other person. It's something
that
they did to you. You holding on to it. You
can't let it
can't
go.
you can't let it go. You slip up. But you gotta be when you become a parent, you gotta really be mindful of the things you say because
Disconnect.
kids retain that.
Right.
Hmm.
And that leads me into my next one. Do not disrespect the other parent on social media, to other people, to your new partner, or in front of the kids. Like you
That.
said, children retain those things. A child is not going to forget you talking bad about their dad or their mom. That's disrespectful
Hmm.
to everybody involved. You don't go to social media and talk bad about the parent. They should only hear good things from you unless you bring them into the bad things. Telling your other partner, your new partner, trying to make the other person look bad in their eyes to make yourself look better. That's all going to hurt the child. Just cursing them out or swearing or doing whatever in front of the kids. None of that should happen in front of the kids. You have to learn how to control your emotions, how to let that guard down of, oh, they're not going to get one up on me, da 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 da. No, you have to think at the end of the day, you're going to go home, I'm going to go home, we still have this child. Talking bad about me is only going to bring up hurt feelings. Now it's going to conflict with all the good co-parenting that we have had thus far. You just ruined all of it, Imagine.
And can I say this when you're done?
Yes.
I'll wait for you to be done. When we understand, and I think what me and Miss Jack we're saying, in a perfect world with parents who are responsible, yes, you're gonna have these great outcomes where you can dialogue and you can communicate. But then we have to think also too, there is an ugly side to some people. You may have one parent that's meticulous and does everything right, then you might have another parent trying to cause diversion and sabotage and trying to create chaos. Those are very difficult situations. I realize that. I understand that. So it is challenging. I mean, let's just keep it real. It's challenging. I think
you try to walk away from an argument. Another person wants to argue.
Yes,
one person is not argumentative.
To degrade you or wants to tear you down. And the best advice that I can give people of that is, if you're in that situation, when you do speak with your child, you let them know honestly, hey, this is none of your, you kind of be honest with them. You don't degrade the other parent, but you also let them know, because the kid is seeing it. Trust me, they already seeing it. They know. But you still put that communication. Go ahead.
To caveat off of what you said, the kids are going to see it. And we have to think of the ages of the kids, whether they're toddlers, middle schoolers, teenagers. They're going to take it different ways. Each age is going to take it differently. You have an older teenager, you may be turning them against the other parent or making them not want to be around you, because if you're constantly degrading my dad, and every time I'm with my dad treats me nice. So why are you talking so bad about him? You have to be very
right
about what you say and do in front of these children, especially if you want them to understand that there's always going to be mommy's house, daddy's house, but we still can talk and get along. They're not going to think you telling the truth. They're going to be like, no, you may be saying this, but every time I see y'all argue hard. That's not good for kids.
No, that's not. I agree. It's not.
All right. So my last one is you have to establish clear boundaries with their schedules, with their doctor's appointments, visitations, and communication times that you're going to call. Hey, I'm going to be calling every night to talk to such and such, tuck them in, give them a story, whatever. Hey, this child has this appointment. Are you taking them this time? Am I taking them this time? There can't be any assumptions. Well, I just assumed you was going to do it. No, both parents need to know how to do both things. Sometimes we make it so easy for the other parent when we're the one doing one thing, but all you're doing is making it so that only one parent knows one thing. Both parents should know. That's why I said both parents should have like the clothes and the diapers and a whole nother set of everything at their house, because you have to establish the schedules. Who's picking them up from school? Who's taking them to the doctor? That's something that you have to establish when you make this decision. Whoever moves out, you got to have a grown-up conversation about, hey, okay, we're not going to be in a relationship. We figured out that doesn't work anymore, but what are we going to do for the kids? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? We got to set it so that there are no oopsies. I left the child at school because I forgot. I have to go get them.
Mm-hmm.
The other parent, you should not forget your child. So you have to establish those clear boundaries with your co-parents.
I'm gonna say this is, and that's all centered around effective communication between each other. Now we all
Mhm.
know, again, we given a scenario of two responsible people, that are able to effectively
This is a
communicate.
good
This,
situation.
yes, this is good situations. However, we know there are a lot of different
Whew.
situations out here in this world, and one thing for certain and two things for sure, it don't always go that way. So if you do have a unique situation, maybe I can put a suggestion out there that you look for who's stronger on what side. If mom or dad is stronger in being on schedule and keeping a schedule,
Mhm.
take the lead in that and make sure you give the other parent tasks that may be helpful to you, but you know that they're capable of doing, because everybody is not equally strong
That's true
in
too.
when it comes to raising kids. I mean, you got maybe dad. I'm gonna just say dad. I'm gonna play that because everybody always say mom is the one who organized. Let's say dad is the one who puts the schedule together. Volleyball, basketball, gymnast.
Chauffeuring.
Whatever
Yeah,
this kid is doing, this is an amazing
right.
kid doing all these sports. But just make sure homework, dinner is cooked, bath time, story
Hmm.
time. Things that you do as a parent on a routine basis. Maybe dad is stronger in that, and mom has to fall back and do the things that maybe she's good with, being at the games, when dad may have to work late. Mom
Right.
will be there as the support, the cheerleader.
Right.
This
Only
this
one
is
has a car and can do the
exactly,
things that travel
exactly
requires travel. So yes, there are
right.
a lot of different. Everything is every relationship, co-parent situation is situational. It's based on
Mm-hmm.
those people's lives and what's going on in that lives. My thing is, don't make it worse. Don't
Yeah,
add to the situation to make it. If you have somebody that is out there trying to do their absolute best, don't argue with them every chance you get.
right.
Applaud, commend them for saying, you know what, he or she may get on my last nerve, but they show up for their kids.
And I see him trying.
I
I
see
see
them
him trying.
trying at least. Yes. Give them some
Encourage
kind of
people.
accolade
Give some
sometimes.
kudos. Yes, I
Yes.
agree with that 1,000%.
The one thing that adds to making it worse is feeling like the other person is just aggravating for no reason. You always have to argue. Something is always wrong. Don't be that negative person. It's already bad enough on the kids. You have to think about the kids. If you didn't have a child, you probably wouldn't even speak to this person ever again. So your important part of this is the child. The child is not going anywhere, God forbid. For 18 plus years, you will always be their parent. So you got to learn something, some kind of way to get along, at least a little. Stop putting everybody else in between. You should never have a go between for your kids. And a lot of people use their parents or the grandparents and say, well, the grandparents are trying to tell you, hey, you still got to try
I
your
didn't
best.
even. You know what? And ideally you would not want a mediator in between, but some people gotta have it.
Need it.
Have you
Some
ever
of them
seen them?
need
some of them, some of them gotta have a mediator in the middle
it.
because they have that much of a conflict going on. So I don't.
Mhm.
Everybody's situation is definitely unique, and
That's
let's see,
true.
what is the audience saying? What are y'all saying out there in the comments? Stop trying to get that bang and focus on the child. Let's see, Wiz.
I think she wrote that when I
Wiz.
was saying about the arguing and talking bad about the other one, the other parent, I think.
Okay. Yeah, trying to basically, get that last, maybe that smart comment, like, oh, I can't wait to see such and such, so I can say this and say that because
Or they
you just
still
need
want the person and they
that
are
too.
trying to cause drama. And, one person is done with the relationship. The other person may be trying to still get back with you. So they cause problems and they just not happy with the decision that has been made. And you still got to suck that up and carry on. It's not.
No is a complete sentence, y'all. If it's over, it's over. No is a complete sentence. Y'all
There's
have to
nothing you can do
accept
about it.
those terms of the agreement and
Exactly.
move on.
Yeah.
Move
But
on. And so,
I think the one thing I hate the most is seeing the arguments in front of the kids.
yeah.
I really think that's very, very disrespectful and detrimental, because you got to understand how those kids, that's their parent. The other parent is their mom or their dad, and you talking bad about them in front of them.
It
They're
does
already
something
confused.
to them. It definitely does something to the kids
Right.
that can stick with them for a long time. I mean, I remember being a kid and, my parents, I grew up in a two-parent home. And even when I would hear my parents get into an argument, and sometimes they would have, I'd be like,
You get nervous.
and you worry, like, I don't want my mom and dad to break up. I don't want this. I don't want that. You do. Kids worry.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to avoid. You don't want to send them into a spiral of mental health challenges as they grow up. And
Especially when they're small.
yes, and they worried
Yes.
whether they gonna have their mama or their daddy, or if they gotta choose. Don't put them in that situation, y'all.
Yeah. Be easy on them, please. Make it as simple and as easy as you can. Because like Ms. Morningstar said, we are talking about a perfect scenario. And we know that ain't perfect. So
we know it ain't, y'all. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. I'm here today, Ms. Morningstar, hosting with my co-host, Mrs. Jack, and we've been talking about effective co-parenting and communicating and trying to raise them children, as Miss Jack called them children. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be bringing our brother Reggie up to continue this conversation as he adds some value into our lives and our identities. So, you guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hello, fellow taxpayers. I'm Andre Martinez, and as the founding owner of EA Tax Pros, I can honestly tell you that our clients trust our team of highly skilled and experienced accountants. Why? Because we work with a passion to keep your money in your pockets, and we keep filing taxes simple, regardless of any situation. And let's be honest, taxes are not everyone's favorite. That's why, as a multi service accounting firm, our professional accountants have a deep understanding in all areas of accounting, and as well as tax planning, preparation, and resolving your tax issues. We lead the way of effectively utilizing the tax regulations and IRS codes to help our clients clearly identify the path of their personal, nonprofit, and business goals. So, if you don't know how to start your business or your nonprofit, we welcome you to the EA Tax Pros team, and you will have access to our enrolled agents who have earned the highest certification of the IRS, as well as CPAs, certified acceptance agents, and QuickBooks certified pro advisors. So give us a call, 713-496-0262. Or you can visit us at ea-taxpros.com. So come join the team that taxpayers trust. Also, don't forget to check out ourplugs.com, a community built with culture.
Welcome to Nutrition You Design. Finally, your place to really get to the bottom line of your health with our functional nutritionist Gail Thorpe on board. You have a caring practitioner to get to the root cause of your health concerns when all else fails. At Nutrition You Design, we specialize in women's health, anywhere from hormones, fibroids, menopause. We have you covered. With over 200 specialty lab tests, we are like your personal health detective. We offer customized meal plans, genetic testing, stress management, and a host of other offers to really get you healthy. Be sure to book your consultation at nutritionyoudesign.com or give us a call at 877-898-5130. You can also find us at ourplugs.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right, welcome back to Our Plugs Community Connection. I'm your host, Miss Morningstar, and I have my sister, Mrs. Jack, here with me holding it down today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and bring our brother Reggie to the stage. Hey, Reggie.
WKRA listening audience, happy Wednesday. Miss Morningstar, our host in with the most today, and Mrs. Jack, our mental health guru. How's everybody doing?
Good. How about
Doing
yourself?
good today. Yeah, we are almost there, y'all. It is Wednesday, hump day.
Let's go. Let's go.
We had thus far, it's been a very good week. Good week.
Love
good
it.
Conversation we've been having on our plugs, and good guests, good conversation going. So I'm not complaining. So, Reggie, I know you've been listening to me and Miss Jack kind of go back and forth about the co-parenting and communication and everything. So, I'm gonna let you do your thing, because I know you can tie some value and identity into that when it comes to, two different personality types when it comes to parenting and style.
Sure.
How can people learn to manage that?
Well, I think it's just important to, to establish some foundational kind of components or some foundational decisions, from, as we say, the rip, from the beginning. And I think it's important to make peace a priority.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also important to understand that you are the environment that your child experiences. And think about this, like if you go to a restaurant and you have an awful experience, are you going to go back? Probably not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm picky about restaurants. Once you mess that experience up, I will not be back.
It's over.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And if you think about any experience, if you go to a bad concert or you have a bad vacation experience or whatever it is, you're probably going to be very resistant to go to give that situation another opportunity, and most especially to put yourself in that situation again. So think about that, when it comes to the co-parenting situation, and, what is the environment what is the experience that you're creating for them, and how are they enjoying that experience? Are you making, peace a priority? And are you creating that environment, for them? Or are you creating something that is not that at all? And I think that's a basic foundational consideration that, that we should all be thinking about, in co-parenting situations. I use metaphors. I'm a songwriter, and a metaphor that I wrote today when I was listening to you guys says that today's seeds are tomorrow's flowers.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. That's true.
today's stones are tomorrow's tombstones. So what are you starting out with is what you're going to end up with.
Yep.
You know, do you desire to experience regret, or do you desire to experience something that you're celebrating?
Yeah, I think with the regret one, people don't like. Ms. Morningstar was saying earlier about we don't always have a perfect situation, right? So then you have some of them that do have this combative type of relationship, and they don't think about the after effects. Like, what are you trying to have? Are you trying to live with a regret? Because the child is going to, whatever the age they start, where you start co-parenting from the time they turn 18, that's what they're seeing every day.
Absolutely.
How do you want them to look at you by the time they're an adult, to go back on the life and say, how was I raised? How did my dad treat my mom? How did my mom treat my dad? And like you said, how is it going to look after the fact?
Exactly.
It's important.
And another thing I think, people need to be aware of, Reggie, and you can piggyback off this, is the emotional, the what it does to the child, far as their ability to, and their behaviors. Like, kids tend to emulate what they see their parents, like they're copycats, right? You copy the right cat, and who do you trust more than your parents? People who feed you, who clothe you, who love on you, or whatnot. So you tend to mimic what they do. And now you got a child you sending off to school and got attitude with everybody, teachers, and giving a hard time, and you trying to figure out, why is this happening?
That's absolutely true. Again, people are driven, we are driven as human beings by how we feel. And so if what you feel inside is pain, which, manifests itself as anger, as sadness, whatever it is that you feel inside, that is what is going to drive how you show up in the exterior world, at school, at work, at Walmart, wherever you are. And so,
period.
Yeah. And so if we, desire, for our children to be exemplary, if we desire for them to be successful, we've got to fuel them with those things. We can't, you can't fill them up with toxicity and expect for them to produce, joy and fruit and, and positivity. It's just, it doesn't, and to your point, Miss Morningstar, everything that we do is programming. Everything that we do is downloading. You can't download Signal and, expect to open Messenger. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
What you download is what you download
is what you get.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're downloading, the kids are uploading. So you also have to understand that is passed
and I'm
down.
Tell you, they tape recorders. They are little
and that
tape
becomes
recorders.
Parents.
Absolutely.
Parents.
And that becomes their operating system. What you're downloading, that's their operating system. So again, it's all connected. And, there is no separation, like you said, both of you, there's no separation between, how you engage with them, how you engage with the other parent, and how they're going to look at you and perceive you and feel about you. Yeah. So understand that you are driving whatever today's seeds are tomorrow's flowers. Whatever you plant today is going to be how you're viewed tomorrow. And so if your desire is to be viewed as a loving parent, and if your desire is to have a wonderful relationship with your child, you've got to create that in the origin of how you move and how the decisions that you make, regardless of how you feel. And I personally, went through the co-parenting experience. And I was just very conscientious of, of that fact. And there were things that, we feel the way we feel. We're not together for the reasons that we're not together.
Right.
But, I never talked bad about, my children's mother, when I was raising them, because I knew that, that's their mom,
Yeah.
and it makes me, and I look crazy, it's like, they're looking
You
at me
look like
like,
the bad guy.
"Why
If you're
you,
always
you are the bad guy.
Yeah.
You are the bad guy."
Yeah. Because I done seen it too many times, with kids, they get mad. I mean, I can remember growing
Talk
up.
about my daddy.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I love my daddy.
remember growing up. You know how. Look, let's keep it a bug. You know how Black families be. You be at the card party or the Sunday dinner, and your
Yeah.
auntie Pam may be over there mad at your mama, and she may say something like, "Yeah, that woman over there. Who you talking about, my mama?" Kids get offended. You
They
hear
absolutely
that?
do.
And you
They
ready to
absolutely
fight.
do.
You gonna fight like that about your moms or your dad, So it's definitely got to be more conscious of how we speak and what we say. And again, like on the playing devil's advocate side, there's always not a perfect situation when it comes to co-parenting. So I guess my question would be, like, in those situations, how do you on the mental health side, communicate to the child about the dysfunction? Because sometimes it can be really bad with the other parent.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like you have to make a decision. Like, a parent may have to, the responsible parent may have to make a decision in those situations.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because there were a period of years where I have two boys, when my boys lived with me full time, and I was, full time dad, dropping them off school, picking them up, having dinner ready, going grocery shopping, one in the cart, one in my arms, so it just had to be that way for a time, and, but again, like, Mrs. Jack said, you have to make them the priority. You have to make them the priority, because I promise you, if you don't, you're going to be the one that is negatively impacted on the other side of that. On the other side of that decision, if you don't make them the priority, if you don't create an environment of peace and safety, if you're, saying, less than, nice things about their parent, regardless of what may be going on, they know. A lot of times you don't have to say anything. They see, they have two eyes. They can see what is going on
and
in the other
kids are
home.
smart. We
You don't have to say anything. Yes, they are.
We definitely underestimate children, and these kids are smart.
You've seen a toddler
They
pick up the
on
phone
everything. You just be
and
like,
go to
"What, you knew
swipe
that?"
and go, wait, I can show you how to do this. You don't know how to do this? Hold on. I'm talking about it to 3-year-old. Will pull your phone and show you how to. They're sponges.
Yeah.
That's why it's easy to teach kids a different language when they're young, because they knew nothing. So all they're taking in is information. So
exactly,
anger, frustration, they pick up on emotion.
That's the program.
On how you are acting, what your face match the feelings.
Yeah.
Daddy or mommy is sad. They're tears. They're crying. You show these things and they learn it. Like, so you're not hiding things from your kids. You may think you are hiding, but a child will tell you.
You can't. I'm gonna tell you,
and
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't care how hard you try to hide it. An example, true story. Anytime I am in some sort of mood, and I may come home or I'm walking the room, my child will be like, "What's the matter?" She can just pick it up on my face and my energy immediately without having to say one word. That's because kids are connected to us.
They are.
There's a connection there. They know our moods. They know
Yeah.
the moods, and they pick up on it quick.
Yeah, they're super intuitive.
One time.
Super intuitive. Yep.
Lie to a child one time. Tell them that you're going to take them somewhere.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
And it does not happen. And watch them come back and grill you and question you like the FBI on why it did not happen, because you said it was going to happen. So are we going to fix this situation? Are you going to take me to McDonald's like you said? Children are very smart.
Yeah, another metaphor, a broken promise is a broken spirit.
Yeah.
And you can't make that back. You can't get that back.
With children especially, because once we get adults, we learn there's ups and downs. We learn, disappointment. Everything's not going to go our way. We got it as adults. As a child, the worst thing you can tell me is I'm not going to Disney World. I don't care.
After you didn't promise me.
I do
exactly.
Not. You ain't got the money. All I know is I'm hurt because I'm not going.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Mrs. Jack. You're absolutely right. And you know what? The other thing is just be honest with your kids. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but if you're honest with them, they will, again, they see right through it and they appreciate that. And then what you're also doing is when you're giving them that honesty, when you say, hey, you know what? I didn't handle that the right way. I apologize. Just because
respect
this is your child, don't feel like, don't be so arrogant. And so,
humble yourself.
Humble yourself. Yeah. And when children see that, they're just like, wow, my dad apologized to me. He told me that he didn't get. Do you know how much that pours into their character?
Yes.
I was honest with I was like, you know what? I messed that up. I didn't do that right. I didn't say that right. I could have done that better. That's on me.
I do that with my husband. I'm so quick to say, my bad. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what you said completely. I'm sorry. It comes out so easily now. But that is a great way for you to talk to your kids, to get them on a level of, oh my, that's how they get the strength to say,
absolutely.
My mom wouldn't lie to me because she tells me this, and this. And I know she didn't have to tell me this part.
Let me ask y'all something. So this is kind of it's still about kids, but effective parenting in this situation. So of course, through our political spectrum of a show that we're seeing, kids are being influenced right now. And then you have sometimes parents that are on two opposite sides of the fence, right? Maybe they didn't know this when they got together, but throughout time, you got one over here that's possibly a MAGA Republican, and then you have one that's the Democratic or independent or whatever, but they have major differences. And you have to co-parent, right? I came across a video. It was so disturbing. It was like it was a baby. She had to be about 3, maybe 3, 4-ish. Caucasian, and her dad had her on camera and was talking to her and was like, "Are you sad?" And she said, she shook her head up and down. "Yes, I'm sad." He said, "Are you sad because you were born during the time Biden was president?"
Oh boy. Don't tell me that.
Awful.
Don't tell me he did that to that baby.
He did that to that baby. And she just shook her head up and down. Yes.
Oh my God.
The indoctrination, like in the indoctrination of this, I was like, this is child abuse.
That's beyond sick. No, that's beyond sick. Somebody need to call family services on. Yeah. Whoever knows that man and saw that video. Yeah, that is just.
And put it on social media. Like, if
what?
This is acceptable or cool. And that baby was sad. She was crying. She was clearly feeling bad because her parent was telling her, "Are you sad because you were born because she was having a new sibling that was being born during the Trump administration.
Oh my!
So
Are
he
you
says to
kidding me?
her, "Are you? I promise you guys, I got the video. I have to send it to y'all so you can see the system
Wow,
because
I'm so
that is
disgusted
sick.
right now. I'm disgusted.
Wow.
I'm disgusted
and the
because
new
remember on my
baby, you
live,
see, my husband is in the chat, and the new baby will be born under the Trump administration. So
Wow.
again,
I can't
I
say the
said,
words I want to say on the
yeah,
radio.
I know, we on the radio, because you know what? If we was on ticket
I
time, girl,
mean,
listen.
I can't believe that, with the quickness of how things, get flagged with social media, that somebody didn't see that and report. That is such, I mean, how many words can I use? Child abuse,
I can't
uh,
use
Yeah,
none of the words I want to
yeah.
emotional
use.
abuse,
Just it was
psychological. That
disgusting,
is just,
psychological. I
Psychological.
thought of
my God.
immediately. I thought of all of that because I'm like, here
Mm,
we have a innocent,
yeah, that's
a
the baby.
innocent
That's not
child,
all they're teaching them.
Of
That's
course
not
not.
all they're teaching those kids. That's
and
when
this is the
Satan
big.
is taught.
This is
That is where it
the
starts. Things like that.
That's the
right. This
beginning.
is the beginning. This is the
Hmm.
beginning.
That's sad.
No. Yeah, no, and,
So
I,
if
and
we,
I've heard children, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. The other couple of years ago, I was at a restaurant in Palm Springs, and they were walking out, and I heard this little boy say, your body, my choice. Like, and where they get it? They're getting this
It's
from.
the fact that the kids are innocent. Like the 3-year-old doesn't even know what she's talking about. She has no
Right.
idea of why
Not
she
at all.
feels bad. All she knows is her dad is telling her in a voice that lets her know that it's not a good thing. So she's
Right.
agreeing and she's
Of course.
sad already, right? So she has no clue. Then you have like maybe a middle schooler, 8 to 10-year-old who is learning about racism, learning about hate, learning about the political sides and MAGA and all that stuff. And they're indoctrinating them, like you said, and getting them started to just hate because that child doesn't know anything about my body, my choice as a
yeah,
10-year-old. All they know is
Exactly.
they heard it from their dad. And we said earlier, the kids emulate their parents. It's just a spinning wheel and the kids
dad
come
or
up.
their mom, or let's
Right.
not forget mom,
Yeah,
because there's some disgusting mothers out here as well. So I think
definitely.
when you to tie that into our conversation this evening about co-parenting, yes, you
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that there. I pray that there's a responsible parent that's responsible for this child, or for a child that has to be co-parenting with in a situation of that such magnitude, where he put a camera up and recorded this child
And show the
and
baby
said these
face.
things. Oh yeah, she was crying, like she was red faced
That's
and crying, and it was sick. It was
that's
sick. But she
unreal.
looked
I
sad.
can't.
I can't really tell she had tears, but she was sad. She was a baby.
And she didn't even know
Wow.
why. I
She
would
don't know
never.
what a
Wow.
Biden is. She don't know none
She
of
don't
that.
even know. She doesn't know what a president is. All she
No.
knows is they're teaching her hate real quick. That's all.
She don't
Mm.
even know that what she's being
She just
taught.
knows how she
If
feels. That's all she knows
she
is how she
just knows
feels.
how
Feelings.
it's making her feel
Hmm.
that way because her dad is look who joined the scene. Hey, DJ Kitty.
Hello. Hello.
It's making
Hey,
her
guys.
feel that way because somebody she loves is telling her it's her
Exactly.
daddy. She loves her daddy.
Exactly. It's
And
feeding
I'm
her
telling
sad.
her this.
It's
I'm
feeding
sad
her
right
sad,
now.
sad cereal.
I know it hurt my feelings.
I'm sad for her now.
I was listening on YouTube, and I thought I'd drop in and
Mm.
say a few words on this subject. It sounds like to me, there was a way that people of a certain descent um, taught their kids how to dislike other nationalities. That's the same thing.
Of
That's the
course.
He's
beginning.
teaching his child how to dislike the Democratic Party, and you have parents. I'm going to tell you just straight up, if you're not teaching your children how to be productive adults, they will grow up to change on you, and that's going to actually bring about a lot of controversy as they get older. These children are growing
Mhm.
up in a world full of, it's a mixture, it's a melting pot. And they may listen to their parents, but how many white people have we ran across in these TikTok streets that tell us, I was taught this and I had to learn, I had to unlearn racism.
Unlearn. Mm-hmm.
They had to
Mm-hmm.
unlearn it because this is what they
I
were
had a
taught
soldier
as
like that.
children. So
Yep.
Mhm.
What did
what you
Tupac
witness,
say?
yeah,
What did
yeah,
Tupac say? The hate you give
huh,
Mm.
little
huh,
infants.
you know, these children are
Yeah.
taught to dislike people
It
for,
hurts us all.
because of their parents,
Of
and
course.
the child is innocent, but she will grow up and she will make her own decisions. And like I just said, we have so many white people that we've run across who didn't know the truth because their
Right.
Right.
parents taught them that black people were the boogeyman. And now that they are adults, they're finding out for themselves and they have to actually relearn how to actually function
To
around
act. Exactly.
black
Good.
They
You
gotta
know,
start. It's kind of like rebirthing, starting all over again. Now
it's
you have to learn how to treat people
they're
of
putting their
other
children at a
people.
disadvantage because if you're
Mm-hmm.
not teaching your child, just like if you're not teaching your child how to share and then they go to daycare and then they go to school,
Now you
they're
got a
going to be
problem.
getting into it because they've always didn't have to share. It's the
Mhm.
same thing. You are teaching your
Mm-hmm.
child how to be a, you know, person like you, and then they'll have to deal with the repercussions and ramifications of your teaching. So parents,
Can I say it, Kitty? Teaching
do
them to
better.
be a Decepticon.
of
Decepticon. And those parents that were telling their daughter, are you sad because you were born under Biden? Well, I hope you have some your private insurance because your child will be born under Trump, and good luck with getting the assistance that you
Might
need.
not
I
have
hope
none.
Yeah, especially if you need milk for WIC, and you need WIC for milk. Other That's why I said it backwards. You need WIC for milk or something. Mm.
They
you
get
know
rid of
what else?
it.
You know what else,
Hey, y'all,
DJ Kid?
we are getting close to our ending point, so let's all kind of go do our rounds. Go ahead, Reggie. Go ahead and say your last few seconds.
Sure, I was just going to say it, and also it's dangerous because, a lot of these news stories where the children unalive their parents, it's because they grew up in environments where they were taught to not like other people, and they turn out not to like themselves, and they end up not liking the people who taught them how to be that way.
I watch court
So
TV every day.
it's absolutely dangerous. Because that
Facts.
hate you so can definitely come back to visit you.
you get
Mm-hmm.
what you get and you don't have a fit.
That happened.
Facts.
That happened last couple weeks ago. That exact story happened a
I
couple
just
weeks.
did a
That's
story
that's what I'm
yesterday
saying.
on one, Miss Jack. So it's happening regularly. It is. Miss Jack, you got a few seconds. Go ahead and close out for us tonight.
My final words will be my final advice, which was the last one. Do not talk bad about the other parent in front of the kids. Try to keep the kids as separate and as delusional to what you guys have going on in the adult lane as you can.
For real, for real. Kitty cat. Go ahead, girl.
Well, I am late, but I am just going
That's
to say
okay.
these words. I was working, so I'm going
Yeah.
to say these words. Thank you guys for holding it down. I'm so proud of my team. As always, thank you for showing up and showing out. You guys are the very best. We couldn't do this without you. We couldn't do this without your support. And hey y'all out there in Mississippi and in Tennessee, good morning. Good morning.
Yes, y'all continue to enjoy your hump day and make sure you make it a good day. We are rolling into Thursday. Friday Eve. So we'll see you guys back
Almost.
tomorrow here on Friday Eve. Almost. I call it Friday Eve Thursday.
Call it
So,
Friday Junior.
so we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for what's tomorrow, Kitty? What we doing?
It's
Nonprofit.
Nonprofits.
Yeah,
and small business.
I like
I think
nonprofits.
we're talking about
Small.
grants, and more grants.
Yeah. Money. Hey.
Thank you all for
There's
listening.
already that's a little hint.
I heard the vocals. I'm like, well, there it is.
You guys have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful one, y'all.
All right, you guys.
You are valuable.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all.